to shove would fail against other men basically permanently. That is toxic masculinity. So an ego that you work hard to justify is a superpower. An ego which is unjustified is going to hold you back. So you have to be very careful.
Ego.
You have to earn it. You have to wake up and say, you know what? I am the man. I'm going to show everyone. And then how do you show everybody you're the man? You make the brave choice. What did I say earlier about bravery? How it radiates on you, how it can be seen in your eyes. That is how you have an ego which is helpful to your life. And that's how you have an ego which actually genuinely exudes confidence as opposed to exuding insecurity. Next thing I want to talk about, we talk about something you said earlier was very important. And I've said this in many different podcasts, that men need to build themselves in every aspect to get women. When I talk about every aspect, everyone understands money and finance and being strong. And we talked about charisma, that's important. You also need to be likable. I don't know if many people have noticed that a lot of the people who are attacking women and insulting women and arguing with women, especially on the internet, aren't particularly likable.
At all.
When I sit with women on Watch My Pearl podcast or Watch My Fresh and Fits, I say important things, but the women love me. They're laughing, they're joking, they're touching my arm. They all want to hang around with me. Afterwards, they're asking me to go party. They all ask for my phone number. I say the same things in a likable way. You also need to work on being likable. And that doesn't mean it means doing the things we were saying earlier about exuding honor and bravery, etc. But being likable is a superpower. You need to work on yourself in all realms. Yes, your physical capability. Yes, your financial resource. Yes, your network. Yes, you need to have stories. You need to be charismatic, but you need to be likable as a person. I don't see many people on the internet right now who are men teaching men how to be men who are actually likable. I see a bunch of complaining.
Want to be tough guys.
Want to be tough guys. Big mouth without reason. Whole bunch of dudes complaining all day about women, screaming at a microphone, acting like clowns, acting like children. They're not likable people. You need to be likable in the real world outside of the internet, and that is extremely important. Another thing people say is that women are emotional and men are logical, and this is true. I'm an exceptionally logical person, but you need to get through to people. You reach people through emotionality. When I talk, people feel motivated. The number of times people have said, if I listen to your podcast, I end up doing push-ups. You talk about you need to prioritize logic over emotions. Yes, as a man, you must be a logical person, and women are traditionally emotionally led. But you need to be able to inspire emotions in people. People say to me all the time, if I listen to one of your podcasts, I end up feeling motivated, my blood's on fire, and I want to do push-ups. No matter what I talk about, right now we're talking about masculinity. In our next podcast, we might talk about conspiracy theories. It doesn't matter what I talk about, but the way I deliver evokes an emotional response. If I can evoke an emotional response in men, imagine how I can evoke an emotional response in a female, because she's an emotional creature. You think I can't make a woman feel excited? You can't think I make her want to come and see me or want to spend time with me? That's very important. Yes, you must be ultimately logical, but humans are all emotional, male and female, and you cannot exclude the emotional side of your delivery and the emotional side of your capability and your humanity. And this is why a lot of men act like cavemen and destroy their kindness, because they're scared to show emotionality because they're insecure and they're weak. But if you lose that emotional edge, if you lose the edge of the ability to be emotional or make people feel emotions, then you're always going to be a two-dimensional character, and that's very important. You can't do it. You lack emotionality if you're all about logic, and that means you lack genuine depth as a person. You need some depth as a person, so don't be afraid of your emotions, but control them, use them in the right way, learn how to make them benefit you, learn how to turn the right emotion on at the right time, choose the one you need for the current situation. Me and you can jump around and be happy and have fun and party, and we can also be extremely serious, and we can decide in real time. Emotions are extremely important. I don't like that a lot of men are out here saying don't feel emotions. No, feel emotions, be stoic, control them, but master them. But you're a human, and as a human you need to have some degree of emotionality about you, and women will respect you if you have a range of emotions that they can detect, that they know are used in the right way, at the right capability that you can control, that allow you to be the most competitive version of yourself. Don't forget about emotionality as a whole. The most important thing a woman can do is be a mother, and the most important thing a woman can do is create life, and it's far more important than selling her soul to woke corp and working her off for some company that doesn't care about her. That is true.
Yes.
Why do women pursue an education and pursue a career? They do that so they don't have to sell themselves effectively to a man they don't respect. I have never met a woman who wants to focus on her career or her education, which she may have had huge interest in when she first met me. Within 2 months, she doesn't care because she knows I've got it. It's under control. She knows she can trust me. She knows I will help her raise the children. She knows she's financially secure. She knows she's emotionally secure. It's done. You cannot blame women for waking up going, I need to get an education. I need to get a job.
I need a safety net.
I need a safety net.
Bums.
Because every man around me is an idiot. Every man around me is doing drugs. None of them have any honor. None of them act the way they're supposed to act. Am I supposed to just sell my soul to one of these dips and let him pay my bills when he's probably going to run off with somebody else and leave me destitute, stranded? And then we complain about single mothers. Well, that's also a huge part of men and masculinity and how men are acting in the
Why
world
are the
today.
mothers single?
Why are the mothers single? So it's very
I'll never abandon my kids.
completely. So you talk about and complain about women needing an education or women following a career. That's because men don't act the way they're supposed to act. If men acted the way they wanted to, men act the way they should, then women would naturally fall into a more feminine role. If you see a woman who's with a man and all she talks about is her career and she's ultra focused on it, that's a red flag. If she truly loved her man, she would have hobbies, she'd have aspirations, she'd have things she'd want to do, sure, but she'd prioritize her relationship above all of them. So the idea that women shouldn't do these things is asinine, because what you're saying is that women now have to sell themselves to sub-tier males to survive, and women are never going to allow themselves to be sold to a sub-tier male. It's going to hurt them in their heart. It's going to hurt them evolutionarily. They don't want to do that. So we're looking at the society and we're saying society's sick, women are chasing education and careers, are not chasing making children. That is the man's fault.
Yeah.
That's all us men's fault. If men were out here and could genuinely take care of a woman, make her happy, make her emotionally secure, spiritually secure, financially secure, she wouldn't have to go to school and work. You see these women saying, I don't know why that feminism came, I don't want a job, I don't want to work. But what's the alternative? If it's not find a real G, which are few and far between, it's to sell yourself to a sub-tier male. And women are uninterested in that.
Yeah.
So that's, again, men's fault. Women going to school in the 50s was not about getting a career, but becoming an asset for their husband to make their man look good. That's where a lot of this started. A lot of this started with, you know what, I'm going to learn how to be a very fantastic homemaker, or I'm going to learn a hobby, etc., to make my man look good and increase my man's status. I'm talking to men right now, but if any women are watching this and they wonder what the secret to making a man happy is, if you increase your man's status, he's more likely to stay with you. Men are in a constant status war against each other. Everything we've talked about so far on this podcast is essentially a status war. We want the fast car not because it's quick, but because other people can't afford the fast car. It is status. As a woman, if you give your man a higher status, then he is going to be more interested in you. If you are
making you happy and keeping you happy.
Absolutely, because you are increasing his status to his peers. If you're promiscuous, you don't increase his status. Whereas if you are feminine, kind, soft, agreeable, other men can't have you. You're beautiful. Perhaps you can sing, you can cook, whatever. You're now going to make your man look better by being with you. And for that reason, he's going to want to keep you because you increase his status. Women are not interested in chasing down these careers in woke corp. In many ways, it is an act of desperation because there are no men out here which provide the safety net they feel they need that allows them to be comfortable to put their life in your hands. If a woman has your child, she is putting her life in your hands. You have children, I have children. Every woman who decided to have our children knew that her life was in our hands. Have we ever disappointed?
Never.
Have we ever disappointed from a Romanian jail cell?
Nope.
Never. The rent was paid. The jet they wanted was on the runway. They have been taken care of head to toe. When they were sad, they could call us. Spiritually taken care of, financially taken care of, emotionally taken care of, head to toe. That is our job as men. And for that reason, they felt secure in the idea of having our children. They're not interested in going to school and chasing a career, etc., because they found a man they know they can trust with their lives. Having a man's child is giving up your life for that man. As a woman, as a man, we can see the child go away to war, come back. As a woman, that is your life. I think it's crazy. I see all these podcasts and men are constantly complaining that women just want to go to school and just want to have careers. That's because men are failing them.
Men are failing.
That's the reason why. And as men who have absolute and utter self-accountability, what can we affect? What can we change in society to make sure that women look at the world in a different way?
Ourselves.
If you genuinely believe that the nuclear family is going to fix the world, you genuinely believe that women should be having children younger, and you genuinely believe that women should be looking to get married and not be promiscuous, the way you do that is to increase your
value
as a man. And men as a whole, if we all did that, society would reflect it.